Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, At Home with Willowberry. Or if you're new, welcome. But where have you been? I'm so happy to see you here. My name is Valerie, and in today's video, we're building a raised herb garden bed for the back porch, and I make a delicious creamy lemon herb chicken recipe for dinner. I tell you what, it was a beautiful day here in the Virginia mountains, so if you're interested, I hope you'll stick around and enjoy the video. How are y'all doing today? We're having a pretty relaxing day here at the trailer. All we have planned today is to put together a raised herb garden bed for the back porch, and we have a few herbs to plant. Then I'm going to make dinner later this evening. We're having creamy lemon herb chicken with roasted rosemary and thyme carrots. And what a beautiful day to relax here in the Virginia mountains. It's a glorious sunny day with mild temps. A perfect day to be outside to enjoy the last of these spring days. Summer is right around the corner, and I have a feeling it's going to be a hot one this year. I tell you what, come summertime, it'll be hard to find me outside unless I'm sitting next to a pool. Well, anyway, as you can see, Tim is building a raised herb garden bed that we're going to keep here on the back porch. I have a few herbs planted down in the garden patch, but I thought it would be more convenient if I had an herb garden closer to the house, so I ordered one from Amazon, and I'm excited to see it put together. I have a couple of herbs in the kitchen that need to be planted. Tim bought me a basil plant and a mint plant that I want to put in the herb garden. And I have 2 thyme plants already planted down in the garden patch, so I'm going to try to dig one of those up and plant it in the herb garden. I have a rosemary bush planted in the ground down at the garden patch, but I'm just going to leave it where it is. I'll probably eventually end up buying another rosemary plant and just keep it in a pot up by the house. Rosemary, thyme, and parsley are some of my favorite herbs to cook with. I was buying fresh herbs as needed at the grocery store, but that gets expensive, so I'm happy to finally be able to start growing our own herbs here at home. Well, what do you think, y'all? I think it's really cute, and I can't wait to start filling it up with herbs. Tim is just going to finish filling it up with the garden soil, and then I can get to planting. What a gorgeous day, y'all. I sure hope you're all having a beautiful day wherever you are in this great big world. I tell you what, I've received messages from so many places, including Greece, Spain, Brazil, Australia, the Caribbean, the UK, Canada, and all over the US, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some places. But it's always so fun seeing where y'all are from. So when I say I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are in this great big world, well, I mean it, because y'all are literally everywhere, and that's so amazing to me. Well, y'all, let's get to planting. As I mentioned, we have a mint plant, and several of you have told me to make sure that I plant it in its own pot because it will take over. So that's the plan. Except I really wanted to have the mint in the herb garden. So we plan to bury a pot in the dirt and then plant the mint in the pot. When it starts getting too big for the herb garden, then we'll find someplace else for it. But for now, it's still small enough to fit in the raised bed. I tell you what, that's one of the best things about this community. Y'all sure give the best advice. Just like with my rosemary plant. When I first got it, I planted it in one of the raised beds down in the garden patch, but y'all let me know that it was going to grow into a big bush and that I should put it in the ground. So that's what I did, and it is getting huge. I still have so much to learn, and y'all's advice has always come in real handy. So, I just dug up a perfectly healthy thyme plant so that I could transplant it into my herb garden. I sure hope I didn't damage it. We'll just have to see how it goes. Well, y'all, once I finish planting the thyme in my herb garden, then it will be almost time to start dinner. I'm going to need some fresh herbs for our dinner. I need rosemary, parsley, and thyme. I already harvested the rosemary and parsley. I just need to clip a few sprigs of thyme, and then I'll have all the fresh herbs that I'll need to make our creamy lemon herb chicken for dinner tonight. And I can't wait, because it sure does sound delicious. really happy with my little herb garden, y'all. I'm excited to have fresh herbs available whenever I need them. So far, I have parsley, thyme, basil, mint, and rosemary. I plan on planting some marigold in there as well, but I have room for 3 more herbs. So if y'all can think of some other herbs that I can plant in my little herb garden, then please let me know. Alright, y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and put away these few dishes, and then I'm going to chop up some fresh herbs. Look at all those beautiful green herbs. Our dinner is going to taste so fresh tonight. I'm chopping up rosemary, parsley, and thyme. But first, I forgot to grab a dish towel to put under the cutting board. That was another great tip I got from one of y'all. I was chopping up something one day, and the cutting board was slipping and sliding all over the place. And someone suggested putting a towel under the cutting board, and it works perfectly. Well, alright, now I'm ready to chop up some herbs. Okay, so the fresh herbs have all been chopped up. So now I'm going to go grab some garlic and chop it up as well. I tell you what, I sure am looking forward to dinner tonight. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Alright, y'all, it's time to get dinner started. We're having creamy lemon herbs chicken breast with rosemary and thyme roasted carrots and a side of basmati rice. I'm just going to go ahead and get started by preparing the carrots. After washing the carrots, I'll then cut them into strips so that they'll cook evenly and quickly. They should only take about 20 minutes to fully cook, so I'm not quite ready to put them in the oven just yet. I want to go ahead and get them prepped and out of the way while I prepare the chicken breasts. carrots are all chopped up and ready to go, so now I'm going to divide them onto 2 cookie sheets. I want them to have plenty of room to spread out, so that's why I'm using 2 trays instead of 1. Next, I'm going to coat them with olive oil and season with salt and pepper. After the carrots are almost finished cooking is when I'll add the fresh rosemary and thyme. Well, once I season the carrots, I'll set them aside for now, and then I'll get the rice into the rice cooker. My boys love these Sister Schubert's yeast rolls, especially when I smother them in honey and butter. I found these in the deep freezer and thought it would be a nice treat for the boys. I'm going to go ahead and get them ready to go in the oven, and then I'll be ready to go ahead and get the chicken washed and ready to cut up. Alright y'all, well, to prepare the chicken, I first washed it in cold water, and then I removed the fat and gristly parts. Next, I'll be slicing the chicken breasts in half to form chicken cutlets. I prefer to cook chicken cutlets versus the whole breasts because they're perfect for pan frying and they cook faster and more evenly, which means they're less likely to dry out, and Lord knows I've dried out plenty of chicken. But ever since I started slicing them into cutlets, they always turn out juicy. I've seasoned the chicken cutlets with salt, pepper, and smoked paprika. And to cook the cutlets, I'll be sautéing them in a little olive oil until they are cooked through and golden brown on both sides. Once all the chicken has been sautéed, then I'll be making a creamy lemon herb sauce to pour over the sautéed chicken. One of my youngest son's favorite dishes is herb chicken, and I don't know how many times he's asked me to make it for dinner, but I wasn't able to because I didn't have the fresh herbs on hand. Well, now that we have our very own herb garden, I'll always have fresh herbs available to make his favorite dish. And that's just one of the advantages of having an herb garden. According to Google, there are so many more advantages. Not only do fresh herbs taste great, they can also help save money at the grocery store. And tending to your herbs can be a pleasant daily activity and can help teach kids about nature. Herbs can also attract pollinators like bees and butterflies. There are so many advantages to having an herb garden, and I can't wait to watch my garden grow. The first batch of chicken is about ready to come out of the pan, so I'm going to go ahead and pop the carrots in the oven. The oven is set at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and the carrots should take about 20 minutes to cook through. When they are about halfway through cooking is when I'll remove them from the oven to add the fresh rosemary and thyme. I don't want to add them too early because I don't want the fresh herbs to burn in the olive oil, but I want to give the carrots enough time to absorb the fresh flavors from the rosemary and thyme. Cooking time also depends on how thick or thin you cut your carrots and your desired crispiness. When I'm roasting carrots, I prefer them to be on the crispy side, but that's just my preference. Alright, y'all, everything is looking good. I finished cooking the first batch of chicken, and the carrots are roasting away in the oven. I can smell the yeast bread baking, and it smells delicious. So now I'm ready to get the next batch of chicken started, and as soon as the bread finishes baking and is hot right out of the oven is when I like to melt butter all over the top of the rolls, and then I add honey. Honey butter rolls are so yummy, and you know what? They actually remind me of the chicken mini rolls you get for breakfast from Chick-fil-A. And if you've ever had a chicken mini roll, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, alright, y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and keep on sauteing the chicken and work on getting dinner on the table. I tell you what, those carrots are looking good already, but we're going to kick it up a notch by adding some fresh herbs. I'm going to sprinkle the carrots with fresh rosemary and thyme, and then after giving them a good stir, I'll put them back in the oven to finish roasting. Dinner's almost ready, y'all. I'm just going to remove the last batch of chicken from the pan and set it aside while I make the creamy lemon herb sauce that will finish off our chicken dinner. To make the sauce, I'll first melt some butter in the same pan that I used to saute the chicken in. I'll then add minced garlic to the melted butter and allow it to cook until fragrant. I'll then add chicken broth and fresh lemon juice, and then finally the heavy cream to the same pan. And once that's all combined, I'll then stir in my fresh chopped herbs. I'm using rosemary, parsley, and thyme. I'll then give the sauce a good stir and allow it to simmer for 4 to 5 minutes in order to give the sauce time to thicken up. The creamy lemon herb sauce is actually very easy to make and oh so delicious, and I can't wait to dig in. Well, y'all, the creamy lemon herb sauce is almost ready. I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of our dinner on the table while I wait for the sauce to thicken up. Once the sauce is thickened, I'll then smother the chicken with it, and then dinner will be ready. And I know 3 hungry teenage boys who can't wait to dig in. Dinner is ready, y'all. And I tell you what, after a long day of relaxing here in the Virginia mountains, well, I've really worked up a big old appetite. So I'm going to call my crowd in here to come and get their dinner so we can sit down and eat. Well, I tell you what, dinner was absolutely delicious. The chicken was tender and juicy, and the sauce was perfectly creamy and tangy and full of flavor. And those roasted carrots, my goodness, I can't wait to make them again. They were tender and crispy all at the same time. So yummy. Well, y'all, that's about it for another video. I really hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again real soon. Y'all have a great week, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye, y'all.